Hello friends, welcome to BCS Tax Guru Cool. I am CS Siddharth Banbat and we are going to discuss the concept of significant economic presence as it is introduced under the provisions of Income Tax Act in 2018 and which became more or less effective from 1/4/2021. Friends, before we move on to understand how this concept of significant economic presence finds place and under the domestic statute, it is for us to understand the historical background as to why these concepts have now found space under the domestic statutes of countries. So, as the businesses had changed in their overall framework with respect to the traditional brick and mortar concepts were getting replaced with a lot of digital businesses, it was a necessary for world to discuss the fundamentals of international taxation, which were initially framed somewhere in 1920 and thereafter focused mainly on avoidance of double taxation rather than avoidance of taxation altogether. In this period, the multinational entities adopted lot of means to avoid taxes in jurisdictions and tax haven prospered. However, taking cognizance of the fact that new means of doing business, which means that the business could be conducted in jurisdictions without having any physical presence through digital means, resulted in double non-taxation in jurisdictions, and therefore the group of 20 countries led by developed countries, that is a G20 nations, came together in 2013 and decided to develop a consensus on multiple issues around the principles of international taxation. Out of the total 15 action plans which were developed under the BEPS framework, first action plan dealt with the digital economy taxation. The concept of digital economy taxation was basically to agree upon a new fundamental principles for taxing digital businesses in jurisdictions from where the activities are being conducted and in the jurisdiction in which the goods are being sold or services are being rendered or where the marketplace is located. After the discussion, as a broad framework, three standards or three principles were uh, discovered in the course of BEPS action plan. One of them was to develop a nexus-based concept of significant economic presence for taxation. Second concept, which was discussed in the BEPS action plan, was to introduce withholding tax on digital services. And the third was an interim measure of equalization levy. While the discussion was being carried on and countries were trying to develop consensus around this, some of the countries unilaterally took measures and introduced some of the provisions to take care of the digital economy businesses. As India is always a front runner in bringing the new concepts of taxation to take care of its fair right of taxation, India introduced equalization levy in the year 2016 with a limited scope of its applicability only on digital advertising services. However, later on in 2020, the scope of digital economy taxation through equalization levy was expanded, and it was also expanded to cover all e-commerce supply of goods and services, and this has become effective under the separate provisions of Finance Act. The concept of significant economic presence finds place under the Indian Income Tax Act under the provisions of Section 911. The principle of significant economic tax seeks to expand the income scope of income of non-residents which can be brought to tax or which can be considered to be deemed to accrue or arise in India, and by establishing a business connection in India. The difference between the concept of business connection and significant economic presence is that business connection was introduced to deal with the physical or the fixed or permanent place of businesses uh, uh, in the international context. However, the concept of significant economic presence seeks to take care of the digitized businesses which do not require physical presence in the jurisdiction. And therefore, the concept of significant economic presence was introduced through an explanation to the section 911. The explanation to A in section 911 is effective from 1/4/2022, that is for the assessment year 22-23, and in other words this is effective for financial year 21-22. The explanation provides that the significant economic presence of a non-resident in India shall constitute business connection in India, and for that purpose the significant economic presence has been defined to mean that a transaction in respect of any goods or service or property which is carried on by a non-resident with a person in India, including provision of download of data or software in India, if the aggregate of payments arising from such transaction or transactions during the financial year or a previous year exceeds the prescribed threshold as may be prescribed, or if there is a systematic and continuous soliciting of business activities or engaging in interaction with such number of users or consumers in India. So friends, just to recap the entire provisions of significant economic presence as they find place under section 911, it says that till now 911 would deem an income to accrue or arise in India in respect of non-resident who established a business connection in India through physical presence. There were certain exclusions which were provided with respect to only warehousing activity or by conducting an activity through an independent agent. Now, the explanation 2A, which seeks to introduce the concept of significant economic presence, intends to bring under the concept of business connection also inclusion for the digital economy businesses where the physical presence may not be relevant. In this context, significant economic presence could be established in two ways. One, through the user or the sale of goods, services or property to users who is residing in India or is sold to a user who's using internet service protocol in India. In case if the business model is such that there is no sale of service or property or goods to any person who's residing in India, but it is only the collection of information of users located in India, and it is through solicitation of the business through advertisement. In those cases, the threshold would be linked to the number of users. As far as the first payment threshold is concerned, it is 2 crore Indian rupees in a financial year, and in the case of user base threshold, it is prescribed as 3 lakh user base. In either of these two situations, the significant economic presence would be constituted as a business connection in India. However, the income so much so is attributable to such a significant economic presence would only be chargeable to tax in India, or would only be considered to be deemed to accrue or rise in India. But in what constitutes income which would form part of the significant economic presence would include all that income which arises from the user charges which are collected from the users. That is one. Second, if that data which is collected from the users in India is sold to a third party outside of India, in that situation as well, that data would that income would become chargeable to tax in India. So with this, I thank you all for the patient listening. Thank you to subscribe to the PCS Tax Gurukul. We would like to see your feedback on the videos which are posted here, and we would love to receive your feedback at bcstaxation@gmail.com, and PPT shall be available in the description tag. Thank you.